Welcome once again to DM Live TV, your #1 channel for business innovation and entrepreneurship. My name is Thomas Tosige and I'm your show host. And today I am privileged to be seated in the presence of greatness. I have a guest with me today who has an interesting story and many things to learn from, especially if you're in the startup ecosystem. I'd like to welcome Mr. Bampaire to the show and just get into it. So Mr. Bampaire, how are you?
I'm alright.
Yes.
How are you, Tom?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, so perhaps you could actually tell us your full names.
My name is Ethan Bampaire, and I'm the founder right now. At least that is what I can identify myself as.
Okay.
I'm the founder of Social Clerk.
Social Clerk.
Yeah, which is basically this platform that businesses can come to sign up.
Yeah.
We'll create them social media content that is a professional graphics,
Yes.
Captions for
Yes.
social media, and all they have to do inside of the system is click a button to approve.
Okay.
It spreads that message to all their social media platforms.
Oh.
Yeah, so right now that is about me.
Yes.
At least what I can identify myself
As
as.
the founder of Social Clerk.
Yeah,
That's actually interesting, but we'll get into it a little later.
Yeah.
So like I pointed out at the start of the show, that you have spent quite some time in the startup ecosystem. Is this a first company or organization you're founding?
No, totally not. I've founded quite a few back there.
Okay.
And in fact, before COVID, I was running this digital agency. It was called OptiBrave Digital.
Which one?
OptiBrave Digital.
OptiBrave.
Yeah. So OptiBrave Digital ran for about 5 years, 5.5 to be exact. I think since 2016.
Yes.
It was just until COVID hit, and then we had to. I had to iterate. I had to move different directions.
So you pivoted.
Yeah.
So this brand that you were working with, after 5 years, shut down because of COVID.
It shut down. By the way, for us,
Yes.
COVID hit before it actually hit. we had a client who was from China, and for them, COVID hit back in 2019.
Yes.
By December, it was already a bit there.
Yes.
So in January, that is for us when we started feeling the pressure because this client was delaying to pay.
Was that your biggest client?
Yeah. He was quite a client.
Yeah.
It was this guy that was working both in China and the US, and so not having business from him in China also meant he was not giving us the business in the US. Yeah.
Yes.
And then by March, we had already started actually, some of my team, I couldn't pay them already.
Yeah.
So I even set off some of them. We were a team of 5 guys.
Yeah.
And inside of that time, 2 of them, I had to let them go.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to let them go, and by March, COVID had also
arrived.
Yeah. So customers again weren't paying, and even those who felt like they were paying, they just weren't seeing the value there in the period of COVID. I mean, everyone is locked up, especially in April there.
Yeah.
That is when I really felt the rush. Yeah, and that was also around the time that we had to now pivot.
Okay.
Our services are usually expensive, digital agencies. Even though digital marketing is supposed to be affordable.
Yeah.
Still, for many SMEs, for those small and medium-sized businesses, it still feels expensive. Yeah, and we find also ourselves charging in dollars many times.
Okay.
Also because our services, most of them we buy them in dollars.
Yes.
If I must buy ads for you,
Yes.
in dollars.
Yes.
If I must get a freelancer in the US to do some thing, it's in the US dollars.
Yes.
So usually we find that the services are still expensive for SMEs. For the big guys, of course not, but for the small guys,
it's
yeah,
quite a pinch.
yeah.
Okay.
So around that time is when I went back to the drawing table and thought about what we can do, because most of the companies, by the way, I'm talking small businesses, but even these companies like in the middle, they also don't like the idea of paying 2 million per month for social media.
Yet,
Yeah.
we cannot run away from it.
Yeah.
Where now social media is the in thing.
Yeah. So it is a bit hard to get them to even start because they feel like the price is not yet there. Yet we want them to adapt this thing now, especially those small businesses. They are the ones that actually need this more digital marketing, because of course they won't put a billboard there. So that is around the time that I had to pivot and look at how we can help the small and medium-sized businesses. Yeah.
So that is how Social Club was born.
Yes.
Ah, okay, that's great.
It started with a lot of things. Trust me, a lot of things until we had to streamline and make it low so that we have somewhere to start. It's not the end, but this is where we could start in order to achieve a bigger goal. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about you as a person. Perhaps you could tell us where you went to school. Were you a leader in these places? I'm just trying to get to the point where I see what informs your decision to step into the digital space. Yeah. So you could just tell us. So how was it going to school?
Okay. My journey to here hasn't been quite an easy one. I wasn't the clever dude in class. I wasn't the leader. I wouldn't say I was the leader back there. But I have to say what I had, even that time, was passion. And later on, even a passion for technology.
Yes.
Later on, what then produced the business guy in me. When they used to ask us about what you want to be in future.
Yes.
Yeah. I used to like always. It never crossed my mind that I want to be a doctor or a president or what. I just wanted to drive trucks.
Oh, you wanted?
Yeah, I just wanted to drive trucks or pickups, and later on I realized it wasn't really because I wanted to drive trucks.
Yes.
It was because I was fascinated by the technology behind that. That I can pull something and and things move. Exactly. So for me, I was passionate about this technology. I was passionate about these things that didn't need me to do something myself, but I could actually have something, an unliving thing.
You could automate.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I just love that.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, from primary, I was introduced to computers in primary 3.
Yes.
I kind of lost them when I changed schools. I gained them back later on in senior 1.
Okay.
Maybe to just take you through the schools I went through. Okay. These are many. Many.
Did you go through many schools because you were stubborn, or was it just circumstances?
Yeah, I could say circumstances.
Okay.
Because stubborn, no. It was really circumstances.
Okay.
So I did my nursery school here in Bukoto, Santa Maria Nursery School. I went to Cavalli for my P1 and P2.
Okay.
I came back this side, where now I joined a school for my primary 3. Then from there, I went through a number of schools, I think about 3. I went through some school called Modern, I can't even remember the whole name.
There are many moderns.
Yeah. Then went to St. Jude, it's a school in PG. Then went to Chira Primary School.
So all this is in primary?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that is primary 7 though.
Yes.
Yeah, it's my senior one, St. Chisto Primary School, Bugolobi. Then
for your senior one, St. Chisto?
Yeah.
Primary school?
No, the senior one.
They have a secondary school section.
Yeah. So there is a primary school, and then behind that there is a secondary school.
Yes, that's in Bugolobi.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did only senior 1 there. Senior 2, I went to a school in Mukono. I don't even know if it is still there. It was some small school. After that, I went on to another school in Chevando, and then in the middle there was a lot of playing. So
you played a lot.
Yeah. So my senior 4 results were not appeasing.
Yes.
So I had to just repeat it. This time maybe in a more serious school. So I went to Bombo SS. And this time the results were a bit good. Now, for me, like I said, there is this passion that I had. And even before then, I just knew I had to be in the technology industry. I didn't know what I was going to do.
You just knew.
Yeah, I just knew.
So, could you say that some of these experiences shaped this passion?
Yes, and you'll see that because after my senior 4,
yes,
I went into this fight with my dad about my studies.
Yes.
I just didn't buy the idea of going to senior 5 and senior 6 and taking all those 2 years and then the vac of 9 years.
9 months.
Yeah, and then joining campus so that I can start studying what I wanted.
Yes.
That was a long time for me. So immediately after my senior 4, I just went for a computer applications course, a small course. No, it's computer application, Word, Excel.
Yes.
But right after that, then I went for Cisco.
Okay.
So I went to MOOC for CCNA, and then 6 months later, I joined CCNP2. After that, I started something else. However,
with computers.
Yeah, in the middle there is a lot that is happening. There was this group, Facebook group that I started called Hints to Hacking. This was something that I got from my senior 4. Like I was just too passionate about this whole technology thing. So in senior 4, I had set a goal to become the best hacker out there, the best hacker, and then I was a hacker, like those basic hacking skills.
Yeah.
And I even started a group which grew to I think about 40,000 members. And
on Facebook?
Yeah. So what we were doing there was basically tips about hacking, how to prevent from hacking, this and that kind of thing. It later led also to a creation of another blog called Ethertech Solutions, which up to now I think is still live. At ethertech.blogspot.com. It was a blog there. Up to now it's still there, and I think we're receiving a lot of traffic. I just take long to check it, but whenever I check it, I found it. Yeah, a lot of people like have visited those articles.
Yes.
So in the middle there, like I wasn't like just studying these things. Actually, in the middle there was also a lot of things happening.
Yes.
A lot of businesses I was trying here and there, and also through that, in the middle of that time, is also when I made my first sale online to a Sudanese guy. Yeah, there were these discs I was selling which had software.
Yeah.
I ran ads on social media, and some guy in South Sudan called me. He wanted a disc.
Yes.
I put it on the bus, sent it to him, he sent me the money. That was the first time I was like, technology is
It's
like
the
this.
best thing. How much did you make in that?
I think about.
If you have a memory of it.
I think by then I was selling that disc 8,500.
8,500.
Yeah.
UGX.
Yeah. It was very small money, but for me again, I was just starting something,
Yes.
and just wanted to see how it goes. Of course,
Of
later
course.
later on, I found out these softwares are actually copyrighted, so you can't be selling. You can't be creating discs and selling software.
Yes.
It's not scalable.
No.
Yeah. So there were
unless you're writing your own software.
Which wasn't happening.
Mm.
Yeah. So in the middle there was a lot of things that I was doing. So I was a hacker, I was a network engineer at some point then, a programmer at some point. Programming, I got discouraged, by the way, by guys in Moko. And guys at a school called Uptake. I don't know if you know that
I
school.
know Uptake.
Yeah.
Used to be David Road here.
Yeah, I once started learning C++. It's a very good language. And then while I was learning it, it was too much on my head. Like sometimes I would be like, what is this? And then I went for a survey in Mo, asking people who has developed something with C++, or who has programmed something good. And then they were showing me people, until I found out these people are not really innovating anything. It was basically this school management system, but of course this system later on is given to someone, and then he turns it into a hospital management system. From now a doctor, from this teacher now it will be a doctor.
Yes.
From student now it will be patient.
It's really the same.
It's the same thing.
Nothing really refined.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even at Uptake, like I was asking them, what have you guys done with these languages that you're learning? And there was like really nothing. Yeah, this self-border thing that is now here has just come. And in fact, I think if I knew that by then, if self-border was there to inspire me, perhaps I would have continued the journey. But I just couldn't go on fighting with C++ just so I could create another management system of some sort. Yeah.
So wouldn't you say that in a way, that impacted on you in terms of decision making? But what if you had pushed a little bit forward? I mean, what if you had been a pioneer in this C++ thing?
Yeah. I think it is just something I didn't know.
Yeah. So what do you learn from all? What are the key takeaways in terms of lessons from all of these experiences before we get into social cloud?
The key takeaways for me, I love where I am, and quite honestly, I wouldn't be here if I didn't take the decisions that I took. I made a firm decision not to go to Senior 5 or to go to Makerere and...
Also, first, hold the line. Are you saying, because I think you said you had a big fight with your dad about, going, so you're saying that from Senior 4, you dived deep into what you believed was the right thing. You were passionate about technology and you went into it. So you never went to Makerere, so you don't have a degree course?
No. I only went to Makerere for Cisco.
You only went to Makerere for Cisco? Okay,
and
great.
particularly not even Makerere, it's the College of Computing and something Information Sciences.
So you went there and did your Cisco? And so you believe that was the best decision ever?
I think believe is when I'm not sure. I think I know I made the best decision.
You know you made
and I'm proud of it.
Yes.
Like, because I'm very sure, 100%, I wouldn't be here if I had taken the other way.
Yes.
This is where I want to be. Like, I really want to be here.
Yes.
Yeah, innovating with technology, applying technology to a lot of problems try and error for me to get to OptiBrev.
Okay.
OptiBrev was a good idea. I wish I had it from the very beginning. It's just that after COVID hit, of course, it was rendered not as good.
Not as good in terms of profit making, or not as good in terms of
Innovation.
innovation.
Yeah,
Okay.
COVID made me realize we're not innovating enough. I need to innovate. Like when I innovate, I'm happier.
You're happy.
Like I'm.
So for you, this sounds like it's not just about making money. It's more about fulfillment.
It's more about impact.
Impact.
Yeah, more about how can I make other people's lives better.
Better. Okay.
Than they were yesterday. How do I simplify life for people? Right now, that is what I feel like I'm doing. Now, it's not that I wasn't getting fulfillment with OptiBrev. I was, and it was a very good business, by the way. It's just that at some point it was tried.
Yes.
And
it was tried and failed the test.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So the journey there from all the businesses that I've tried, it was basically try and error. At some point, something failed. I was like, okay, let's. For example, on the blog side, it was doing good. Like we were getting traffic, people were reading the content, people were saying thank you for this. It was helpful and stuff, but it wasn't making me money. It was basically me seated in my parents' room, writing the content and not knowing what is going to happen tomorrow. So OptiBrev came in after that. I was like, how do we now make money? How do I actually make money? Yeah, that can sustain me.
Yes.
I thought about website design, and so I started a company for website design. Website design, I found it wasn't that
lucrative.
Exactly.
There's a lot of competition.
In
the space.
Exactly. Then started the digital marketing journey. By then, digital marketing was not
like a really
it wasn't like
thing.
it wasn't. No one really knew about digital marketing.
Oh, there were very few.
Yeah. In fact, on a Google search to search for digital agencies, I think there were about only 3 companies
in Uganda.
Yes, in Uganda that were doing digital marketing.
Yes. And you know all of them?
Yeah, I think one was Blue Flamingo. There was another one called what was it again? Okay, there were few. And even Blue Flamingo. There is this video I watched of that lady saying that they had been requesting to do digital marketing for companies, but the companies just don't get it. By that time, like no one was getting it. It's only at some point that the companies were like
they jumped to like let's try it out.
Yeah, exactly. But from the blog to website design to digital marketing, this was all. I've tried this. It is not working. Let's move on. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So why would you say you know, because decisions are informed by information, okay? By the time you decide this is not working, then there must be indicators or mistakes or challenges. What challenges did you identify in this journey from, say, the website to the digital marketing agency and now to Social Clark? So, because you've made a leap in all these places, what are those things that you identified in one that you will not repeat in the next? You understand? Yeah? Like, were you able to do a thorough evaluation, you know, of that journey and identify and say, you know what, yes, I've moved on from this thing, but this is what I've learned. So, for example, what did you learn from, you know, doing the website design business? Yeah.
I think for me, what I've the biggest indicator that I've found, I think competition is not good for business.
You don't think it's good for business?
No, not for me.
Okay.
I think when there is competition, the only good thing that can come out of it is innovation.
Okay.
Now, for me, always what for all these businesses that I've started, it has always been about doing it because someone else is doing it. Yeah? And all of a sudden, the industry is crowded. Yeah? So what I've learned in that period and what I don't want to repeat is doing something because someone else is doing it,
Yes.
or because I think it is profitable.
Yes.
That is
You know,
like a key.
copycatting is
Yeah.
Okay.
We've done social clerk now.
Yes.
It's like an entirely new model.
Yes.
We've done our research. We haven't found anyone to do it, not even outside of Uganda.
Okay.
What is there may be a freelance websites like
Yeah.
Fiverr, where you give someone to do the graphic. But of course, again, it is expensive and the process is lengthy because he'll design it, he'll give it to you, you'll have to go to Facebook and upload that picture, go to Twitter, upload that picture, copy and paste the content. What our thing is taking away. Because with our platform, you click a button, it is to all of them.
So you create, you pay the money, okay? You get into social clerk, okay? And social clerk, so of course you fill in the details of your different social media pages.
Yes, you connect them.
You connect them to your social clerk account.
Yes.
Okay. So you have the client's data.
Yeah.
Okay. And so your system, once they click on and say, I approve this message,
it spreads out.
It
Exactly.
spreads out
Exactly.
and appears across all the platforms,
the platforms
at
of
the same
customer.
time. Okay.
Yeah. So that kind of streamlining is nowhere right now.
Right now.
Yeah. So that is where I feel like this is great. I feel fulfilled on the side of innovation.
Yes.
And I feel fulfilled on the side of us, of this platform being able to support. Small and medium-sized businesses.
Yes. I mean, so how much is the package? So if someone signs up for,
it is as low as 75,000 shillings.
75,000 shillings.
Yes.
That's how much in dollars?
About 20, not really $20.
About $19?
Yeah, probably around that.
About $19.
Yeah. Per month. And you get.
This is for the whole month?
Yeah. It's for the whole month, but
okay.
you get one post per week.
One post per week. Okay. But this one post appears on all your social media accounts. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yes. No. Not TikTok. Not even YouTube. Of course, if it is if it's a picture, it won't appear on YouTube.
Well, YouTube has a community where it can appear, but that's a thing for another
so
day.
probably I will work on actually incorporating all that.
Okay.
But right now we are innovating on that side. We're also innovating on jobs. We found that there are lots of young Africans who have acquired digital skills, so they know how to create those captions, those nice social media captions, or he knows how to do graphics, good graphics. But he won't be employed by someone, and there are no jobs like
because of the whole pandemic
exactly.
situation. Yes.
Then the other thing also, the skills, we have gotten too much skills now. Like I said, the industry has now become circulated, the digital marketing industry, and everyone is studying that to get money. So you find that there are many people who are skilled, but they don't have where to apply those skills. So
you guys are creating a platform for them. You're saying, look, come be part of this. You get market all over the world. Because I think that's innovative, especially because the time factor. If I can buy or pay a subscription for a month and at the click of a button,
You're
my
sorted.
social media is sorted.
Yeah.
That's great. Let me ask you an interesting question. You probably thought about it, but I don't know. So if I come into your system, your platform, I log on socialclock.com/Thomas, okay, which say my account, and then I fill in my social media details. Yeah. Uh, what's how is that data protected? Because I'm literally putting all my social media handles on your platform, which means you have all of my data, and somehow the system has even my passwords. Because if I'm able to click the click of a button, everything is spread out on my system, then it would only mean that I've given you this private information. What are the security protocols to make sure one that this information is not stolen, you know, that my data is in safe hands. Yeah.
Okay. To address that, there are two things. There is encryption.
Okay.
Our website has an SSL certificate, which secures you from hackers who are on your network, kind of thing. And then the servers themselves, where the data is stored, are stored. The data itself is stored in secure locations by Google and Amazon.
Okay.
Now, these are companies, of course, which have a very good reputation
Yes.
in terms of protecting the data.
The data.
Yeah, because these data centers are protected both physically and the cyber way.
Yeah.
They are protected all the way.
Yeah.
Now, as to us, like the people who write the code and stuff like that, it is restricted as well.
Okay.
So it can be restricted to the person who is working on your work in particular. So, for example, the graphics designer who is working on your work, the content creator who is working on your work. Of course, these guys have to have access to this data so that they create the best content for you. There is then this aspect of us having access to post to your pages.
Yes.
We don't need the user's passwords, actually. We're using official APIs from Facebook, from Twitter, from LinkedIn. So when you make a post from our system, it's simply calling on LinkedIn's API. It's not really storing your password. In fact, you don't need to enter your password anywhere or at any point in time. Yes.
Okay.
If you feel like you're tired of social clock, you can as well just go to your social media platform and you disable social clock. Because there are apps, like there are many apps there. You just go, you find social clock, you disable it. You remove permissions from us to post to your platforms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's amazing. Well, before we come full circle, maybe you can just break down how social clock works. If I'm a client and it's got my attention, what's the process that one goes through to be able to start using your service?
Okay, so we found that it is best for clients to start with a minimum package. Of course, we want you to start with a big package, but we find that it is better if you see if you can see what to expect going forward. Just start with that 75,000 package. Yeah, and see the kind of graphics we'll give you, see the kind of captions we'll write for you, and see how even the system works, how pressing that one button alone will spread the message.
Yes.
Then maybe you can consider resubscribing for others. And we found that is the best way. Just come, give us 75,000. We'll call you sometimes to get a brief from you, what we need. Maybe we need to have like a small strategy there. And telling us about your business gives us an idea of what we should create. Okay,
so you call, you say the client is on the platform, then you share this information. What's the turnaround time for the posts to be created? Like, is there a time frame that you require before the posts are ready?
Yes, that is 3 to 5 days
Okay.
for that first for those first 4 posts.
Okay, so they will all be ready in those 4 or 5 days?
Yeah, 3 to 5 days. So usually it takes that time also because we are branding you.
Okay.
The branding is free. That the kind of graphics that I think we'll be showing the kind of graphics that we are doing.
Yes.
We do branding, like actually professional branding on those graphics.
Yes.
The graphic that we'll do today is not going to be too different. Okay, it's not going to be different from, it's kind of like, you see how Stanbic Bank does its marketing, its branding. Even when you find a billboard which doesn't have their logo, you'll know this is Stanbic Bank. Because there is just a way they do their things, their colors, there is a way they write their content, there is a way their fonts look like. So all that is provided in this package. We actually do all that. So it's more like actually premium kind of content for the fraction of the for the fraction of the cost.
For a tiny fraction, actually. Use the word tiny fraction.
You can say that.
75,000 really is quite affordable. Okay,
so that is basically it. When now you feel, we've got this by the way, when you've seen that, then you can subscribe for more. More packages is you just increase 75,000.
If you don't mind my prying and asking, what is it looking like now in terms of clientele from the time you started, which was during lockdown last year? When did you launch Social Clark?
During lockdown, we had an idea. I had an idea, a very big idea, a very ambitious idea. And it took quite some time for me to iterate and come up with the Social Clark thing. So I couldn't build it without a co-founder. I had to find someone who could build the code that I refused to do. C++. So I had to find someone to build the code itself for the application. So that was a partnership that I needed. And it came to happen in around November last year when we started building the application. That is when we started when it started to take shape. I also had to get a partner who has been a very good who has given us good guidance on what is needed, what is not needed, where we should spend money, where we should spend money, where we shouldn't spend money. So Social Clark as a whole started really, I think I would say in December of last year. In December we started with a prototype. Something called a minimum viable product. The smallest thing we could do to prove that some people are actually willing to pay for this. And that is when we had our customer number 1. And that is also when we proved that this thing could actually work. Right now we have about 15 customers who are paying every month. And that is a good thing for us. That is all we wanted, to prove that when people see this,
then they will.
Exactly.
And I guess that's why we're here. Tell a friend to tell a friend. So guys, if you're out there, you have your real estate business, you're in agriculture, maybe produce, or whatever industry you're in, and you'd like to have your presence felt on social media, but with nice, beautiful graphics that represent what is in your heart. You can want to do this thing, but then you don't know how to. That's one. And two, everyone you approach is like really expensive and it's out of your range. Social Clark is the go-to platform for you, and you will be completely sorted. That is www.socialclark.com.
Social Clark with an A.
With an A. Yes. Social Clark with an A. The Clark is with an A. And you'll be completely sorted. Well, thank you so much,
thank you,
Peter, for coming through and for sharing this wonderful platform.
If you enjoyed this
And I
video,
really wish you
don't
the
forget
best.
to share your comments below and subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos coming up soon.